It was a quiet Sunday morning in Yorkshire when Edward Collins, a 72-year-old retired railway engineer, walked into the small café he visited every day. His back was slightly bent, his hands trembled a little when he held his cane, but his eyes still carried decades of wisdom. Edward always sat at the same corner table, ordered the same breakfast, and tipped the same amount. Everyone in town knew him, or at least they thought they did. But this morning was different. A group of wealthy young businessmen had taken over the cafe. Loud, arrogant, expensive suits, perfumes stronger than manners. Among them was Daniel Hart, the owner's son, who loved power more than respect. When Edward entered and quietly waited at the counter, Daniel rolled his eyes. "Why is he here every morning?" Daniel complained loudly. "He smells like old books and dust." Everyone heard. Everyone stayed silent. Edward lowered his head, pretending not to notice. The waitress, Emma, who always served him with kindness, whispered, "Don't mind him, Mr. Collins." Edward smiled gently. "My dear, disrespect says more about the giver than the receiver." Daniel didn't stop. When Edward went to sit at his usual table, Daniel pulled the chair away at the last moment, laughing as the old man nearly fell. "Oh, come on, Grandpa, move faster." The cafe burst into forced laughter, except Emma, who rushed to help him. Edward didn't shout. He didn't argue. He simply said, "Young man, life has a way of teaching what parents failed to." Daniel mocked. "Save your old man quotes. This cafe now belongs to me, and people like you don't fit here." He grabbed Edward's walking cane and tapped it like a toy. Edward's breathing grew shallow. That cane wasn't just wood. It was made from the railway track he had worked on for 40 years, gifted to him after he saved 127 passengers during a rail malfunction. No one knew the story, not even Daniel, because Edward never bragged about it. He whispered, "Please give that back." Daniel smirked. "Or what?" He snapped the cane in half. The entire cafe froze. Emma gasped. Edward's eyes filled with tears, not of anger but heartbreak. He left silently, walking slowly, without support, each step showing decades of pain returning. 2 days passed. Then everything changed in a single night. The mayor, the police chief, and dozens of townspeople stood outside the cafe. A large banner hung across the street, honoring Edward Collins, the hero who saved our town. Daniel came outside confused. "What's happening?" The mayor glared at him. "You mean you don't know whose cane you broke?" Daniel frowned. "Some old nobody." The mayor raised his voice. "Edward Collins is the man who prevented the 1987 Silver Line train disaster. He saved 127 lives, including my brother's." Daniel's face drained of color. The police chief added, "He never wanted fame. He never wanted reward. He just wanted peace." Emma stepped forward with tears. "He is the kindest man we have in this town." "And Daniel, you humiliated him," the crowd murmured angrily. Suddenly a black car stopped. Edward stepped out, slowly, with a new cane the mayor had bought him. The entire crowd applauded. Daniel approached him, shaking. "Sir, I'm so sorry. I didn't know who you were." Edward's face was calm, almost peaceful. "Respect shouldn't depend on who someone is. It should depend on who you are." Daniel broke down crying. The mayor declared, "From today forward, this cafe corner will be named Edward Collins Honor Seat." The crowd cheered. Daniel placed a new handcrafted cane in Edward's hands. I hope one day I can earn your forgiveness." Edward gently touched his shoulder. "Already have. You learned." And that was the whole point. The lesson. Edward didn't take revenge with anger, fists, or power. He let truth and character speak for him. Because sometimes the greatest revenge is when the world finally sees your worth and the person